Ladies and gentlemen, Warren Patten Jr.
Well. Father, help your children and don't let them fall by the side of this rugged road. Teach them to love one another, and heaven might find a place in their hearts. Hello. My name is Warren W. Patten Jr., and I am a great father. Yes, I am a great father. I'm here to testify. Those of you in the back, I am a great father. I am here to celebrate great fathers. Are there any great fathers in the room right now? Please raise your hand. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You can put your hands down. If you would join me on the count after 3. Let's give the great fathers in the room one hand clap. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was nice. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. Now, I know you're asking yourselves, what makes him think he's a great father? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because I experienced a few defining moments in my early childhood and adulthood that led me to think that I could be a great father. And those defining moments were key to setting the foundation for me to be a great father. And today, by the end of my time, I hope to share with you some tips on how you too can be a great father. And I have brought along with me today my top 3 characteristics for being a great father. The first characteristic for being a great father is presence. Security, lock the doors. Presence is key. A great father must show up. That's when those defining moments actually mean something. The next top characteristic for being a great father, self-discipline. It's coming. Self-discipline. This is going to be key, because many times we throw around so many terms. Lead by example. Model the behavior. Practice what you preach. But we throw those around to other people, but we don't use them ourselves. This is the time a great father actually shows up. The third characteristic for being a great father has to be a teacher. Security, lock it down. No restroom breaks. A great father should be able to be the first source of education for their children. I know you've heard this before. I wasn't good at math. English wasn't my favorite subject. So you need help with your book report, go see your mom. We have to show up when it's time to show up, and we have to go back to school with our children and learn along with them. First step. Now, these defining moments I learned from my parents. I don't know if they were trying to teach me, but I was there with them and I was learning. So I'd like for you to meet my parents. All right. Here we have Geraldine Patten Williams. That's my mother. On the far side, you will see my biological father, Warren Patten Sr. And in the middle, you will see my stepfather, Eddie Paul Williams, the late Eddie Paul Williams. And I want to start with my stepfather. I called him Paul. I wanted to know if Paul loved me. I wanted to know if he would participate in some of the activities that I participated in. And as a young basketball player in the 9th grade, I used to ask him, Paul, would you come and see me in a basketball game? He said, no, I don't have time to go to no basketball games. I have 3 jobs. I have to work and I have to feed the family. My mother felt my pain. She said, Warren, stop asking. Your schedule is on the refrigerator. So time passed. Now I'm a senior in high school, and this is one of our last games. I haven't seen Paul show up to a game. But on this one away game, we're warming up. You know, we're doing our things. My afro is flowing and throwing. And then the ball got away. I ran over to pick the ball up, and when I picked the ball up and I looked into the audience, the first person I see is Paul. He is sitting there with the hat on, not even smiling. But at that point, I knew he loved me.
All right.
He didn't have to say it.
All right.
He showed up. That's what I needed from him.
Okay.
And I was so very glad that he showed up. And that's what I needed. But he taught me presence, because as a father, I wanted to be there for every single event that my sons experienced. Now I'd like to talk about my biological father, Warren Sr., charismatic, an athlete. But he had a few demons he had to conquer early on. And when he came back to Memphis and he conquered those demons, this is my father. He stopped smoking, stopped drinking on his own. I'm like, my father did that? Now we know many people who struggle with it, but he did it. And that's when I knew self-discipline was very important. He showed me there's some things that you can do and you cannot do. And that's what I got from my biological father. Now I can talk about my mother all day long, but we don't have that kind of time. There were so many defining moments with Geraldine. And I was probably 11, 12 years old. And I asked my mother, I said, Mother, can you talk to me about sex? She said, boy, if you don't take your butt in there and get them Encyclopedia Britannica. I said, y'all have seen about the Encyclopedia Britannica, I'm sure. It was so many of us, like we had a whole wall of the encyclopedia, from A to 103. So I took all of the S's, it was about 5 of them. And I opened them up and I found it had sex. But it talked about sex education. I needed to know more. I needed to know more about intercourse. I said, Mother, I got a little information from the Encyclopedia Britannica, but I need to know more about intercourse. She said, will you take a little narrow behind to the library? Do you think she took me? No, in Memphis, we had to go call Madam. I had to walk to the bus stop, get on the bus. Transfer, get on the bus. I had to walk to the bus stop, get on the bus. Transfer, get on the bus. That's how we got around back in the day. There was no one with a ride. But I learned what I needed to learn from the library. I saw some nice illustrations. I learned all about intercourse. Then I had to get on the bus, transfer to get back home. But what I learned from that experience, that I had to be a teacher. I have to be the first source of education for my sons. I can't send them to the library. Our Encyclopedia Britannica are out of date. And information is so far gone now, we have to really do more. We have to be able to evolve with the information. So I know you thought you went back to school, but you're going to have to go back again with each one of your children. It is going to be clear. If you would please, on the count after 3, give my parents one hand clap. 1, 2, 3. Y'all look good. Don't tell nobody about that. Now, along the way, there were a few other defining moments. And I learned that a great father has to show his family about emotions. Actually have to show those emotions. A great father has to be vulnerable with his family. A great father also has to show his family about conflict resolution. A great father also has to show his family how a man treats a woman. Your wife, their mother. A great father could really use a great mother of those children. One who takes being a mother seriously. One who may not always agree with your ambitions, yet she trusts that you are honorable in your intentions. One where the love grows stronger with the birth of each child. I found that woman. But you'll meet my family soon. But I have heard that for every great speech, there should be a great quote. And I found that quote by Warren W. Patten Jr. Your presence precedes you, and your engagement completes you. Don't think about it too hard, but I got that inspiration from my biological father. I have photo evidence that he was there in the very beginning, holding me, that little bundle of joy. Yes, he was holding me, but the timing wasn't right. But when he came back and he conquered his demons, or his engagement in my life as a young man completed me. I think it was all set up. Paul was supposed to raise me. My biological father completes me. It just works. Don't question it. It works. Now I'd like for you to meet my family. Yes. Bam! I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that. We did a recreation video, and we celebrated 40 years of marriage last year. And if you would, look at the picture on your right, as it is the face of a clock. And you will see at 11 o'clock, our son, Jonathan. At 12 o'clock, our son, Joshua. At about 2 o'clock, our son, Jeremy. At 3 o'clock, our son, Joseph. And Joseph and Jeremy are fraternal twins. Then when you come around to 8 o'clock, and you'll see our son, Jacob. Jacob is the one that provided the beautiful music at the beginning. Yes, he did. And in the middle, representing the hands on the clock, is our beautiful queen, my wonderful wife, Ribbon. She represents the hands on the clock because she's got her hands in everything. And right next to her, of course, you see the battery pack, the Energizer Bunny, the source of light. I am there for sure. I encourage you to definitely reflect on those defining moments in your life. They can show you what you can do and what you cannot do, what you should do, what you should not do. Even if your parents aren't actually trying to teach you something, you are learning from their experience as well with them. Father, help your children and don't let them fall by the side of the road. Thank you so much for listening.